Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Court Farms Country Park and a fresh November's morning. So I hope you're all doing very well and having a nice day. So yeah, this is episode 21 of the Let's Play series. We're here, as I say, in the first day of November, the first morning. Beautiful morning, really is. So what we're up to today, I have taken on a couple of harvesting contracts. Purely, essentially, for a little bit of a change and a little bit more variation and to make use of the corn header that I purchased a couple of months back. So we have field 136 and field 21 there, as you can see in the contract HUD at the top. One of them is sunflowers, one of them is corn. I think field, you know, I'm not going to guess, field 21 is sunflowers and field 136 is corn. So, yeah, just for a bit of variety. And also, as I say, to make use of the corn header that we purchased. So that's going to be the first bit of today. I'm going to get cracking with that. I have joined up those two fields to my auto drive network, so they're ready to go. I'm going to try and I'll send the tractors over via auto drive, but I think I may send the harvester. I may drive that myself because it might be a little bit difficult around the narrow lanes. I might send it off and see how it goes and jump to it and find that it's stuck in a tree or a hedge somewhere, or yeah, one of the fields doesn't have a gate and one of them does, so I think it's 136, the bigger one of the two, that does have a normal gate, so I'm pretty confident that the harvester will not make it through there. But 21 has got a reasonable size opening and no gate, so it might make it in there itself, but we shall see. So initially, as I always tend to do, just a very quick rundown of the state of the farm at the minute. Everything is growing exactly as we want it to be. The field that I treated in the last episode with our slurry and manure is growing back perfectly well. I think, if I remember correctly, this is now, or will be, the third cut. So when we've cut and mowed, sorry, same thing, innit? When we've mowed and picked up everything out of this field, I think it'll be time for a proper mulching and replanting. I should be able to do that with the direct drill as well, won't I? Now that I have a direct drill. So yeah, that's that. Cows are doing fine, sheep are doing fine, chickens are doing fine. But very interestingly, one mod that I have just downloaded that came out, I think it came out yesterday in yesterday's release of mods on the Mod Hub, is a mod called the Animal Food Calculator. Now, as soon as I saw this, I was very interested in it because, purely for this map and this save game, because of how slowly our animals go through our food. So I downloaded it, installed it, and if I bring it up here, right, let's go straight to the sheep first. So as you can see, in the pen information on the right-hand side at the very bottom, there's now two little bits of text that say daily food and yearly food. So as we can see, 1,960 litres a day for the sheep. For the cows, 4,375, and for the chickens, 300. But they don't add up, I don't think. The daily food says 1,960 litres, that's fine. The yearly food, basic mathematics tells me, for the sheep especially, is their yearly total should be 715,400 litres. Simply multiplying 1,960 by 365. And likewise for the cows, that gives us a yearly total of 105,000, which I think isn't even, that's slightly less than the whole capacity of the trough. We're at 88,000 litres now, so based on what they have in their food now, that's pretty much them sorted for the whole year. Now that does not make sense. I know I don't have the, I think it's Maize Plus, isn't it, that gives me the fully realistic animal feeding quantities and amounts and all that stuff, but for the yearly food amount, based on the same simple sum, the cows should be consuming 1,596,875 litres of food, based on a daily intake of 4,375. And the chickens, 109,500, based on a daily intake of 300 litres. So, something doesn't add up with all that, does it? So, I'm not necessarily going to do anything about it. I initially just downloaded that mod purely for my own informational purposes, and yeah, so I now know what they use a day, and I am considering the Maize Plus mod. I've got it. It's in my mod folder. I've just not activated it because I appreciate that it is extremely complex, and I'm not necessarily too interested in exploring the multiple different ways that you can feed your animals. I appreciate when it comes to cows, having watched Scroft's Bally Spring series, he's very informative with his information about the Maize Plus mod and the different, you know, the feed types that you can make for your cows and all that stuff. You know, a corn cob mix and all that kind of stuff that Maize Plus introduces into the game. I haven't got a clue about all that, if I'm perfectly honest. I'm happy to admit that. But yeah, just the variations with that you can make with the feed mixer, for example. Am I right in saying that if I was to download the Maize Plus mod, can I still feed my cows what I feed them now? Total mixed ration. Can I still make the total mixed ration using the same ingredients that I have, with which is obviously hay and silage bales? Maybe padding out with a bit of straw if I was to invest in a larger feed mixer, or do I have to then fully learn and get involved in the, you know, the plethora of stuff that Maize Plus gives to me? If there are any of you wonderful viewers out there who are way more versed on Maize Plus than I am, I'd hugely appreciate any comments at all, any suggestions, any advice in the comments below. If I do download the Maize Plus mod, will that increase the speed and pace in which the cows go through their food? And if it does do that, can I carry on feeding them the basic food ingredients that I feed them now? You know, just simple total mixed ration. Can I do that within the confines of what Maize Plus brings to the game? Again, yeah, thanks. I'd very much thank you to anyone who can let me know, because I'd very much appreciate any help or advice with that one. So yeah, that's that. So the animals are fine, for now anyway. Bales are fermenting away, 57%, so we can leave them be. Obviously, don't need to do anything with the cows apart from muck them out again, because I mucked them out before I slept and brought myself into November, and they have made a nice little pile on the floor again, so that's another job to do. Honey, we've got a little bit of honey being produced on the rack here, 2 and a bit pallets, I think, so the bees are busy being away, so that's all good. And I think we do have, 1 pallet of lettuces per lettuce tunnel being produced at the minute, so that's all good. And as I said, yeah, the fields are doing just fine. Wheat's growing here, linseed, rye. We've got barley in this one, and oats in the big one over there, and I think we've got canola in that one. So everything's growing as it should, and the eggs have so far produced 235 pieces of eggs, which, as far as I'm concerned, means they're all broken if they're in pieces. But yes, so we'll let them just crack on as they are, and we'll sell a load of eggs when there's enough to make a point of selling. So anyway, right, so we need to crack on with these contracts. These two, they're not paying a great deal of money. They are, if I just flick very quickly back into it, field 21 is quite a small field, and 1,531 quid, and field 136 it's £2,230. I will very quickly show you where they are on the PDA. 21 is down here, that one there, and field 136 is this one up here. So it's a half decent size, but this one has the narrow gate entering to it. So fingers crossed, auto drive can manage its way in and out of that field when it comes to sending back and to the sell points. So yeah, now I also am acutely aware that time of year wise, I am narrowly approaching what will be winter on the map. December, January, February time is when the weather has given a bit of snow, and I am very much looking forward to when it does snow. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time in the snow, don't get me wrong, but for the main purpose of finding the 2 remaining collectibles, and which I assume are in the hands of snowmen, which only appear when it snows. So yeah, I am hopeful that I can find those last 2, because it gets the whole thing done and dusted. It means that I will be in position to receive potentially another £202,000. As I said before, when I did this, I appreciate that some people aren't too keen on the use of collectibles, as opposed, you know, when it comes to being a farm, a working farm, you wouldn't just get magic money from finding wooden toys dotted around your local village. I appreciate that, but as I said, they're in the game. Get them done once, out the way. It'll give me the option to give me the ability, sorry, to expand the farm with a bit more money. I'm hoping I don't get... Well, I say I'm hoping. I'm hoping there isn't necessarily another monetary bonus for finding all of the collectibles. So I know that I've got 2 more to find. Each one of those will finish off a particular type of collectible. So I'll get £1,000 each for each collectible, and then potentially another £100,000 for each one for finding all 10 of the respective collectibles that those the remaining 2 correspond to. So 202 grand is what I'm expecting to get when I find them. I'm quietly hoping that I don't get another chunk of money on top of that as a reward for finding all 100 of the collectibles. That's assuming I find them, of course. I can't imagine the snowmen are going to be too difficult to locate around the map. But yeah, so if I do, if and when, in a big if I find those final 2 collectibles, the obvious thing I'm going to do is I'm going to invest it into more land. I'm not going to buy any more tractors or machinery, because as far as I'm aware at the minute, I don't need any more. I've got almost, I think, everything I need. I suppose this big fence in reality is probably a bit big for the farm, but it's a beast. It's an awesome thing, and I've got it now, so it's done. So we've got 4 tractors and a harvester. What more do I need? We've got enough implements and tools, I think. I suppose I could do with a bigger total mix ration mixer, but that will really only pay for itself and come into a proper bit of usage if I use the Mace Plus thing and start increasing the pace in which our animals consume food. Otherwise, that little thimble full of TMR that mixer creates is perfectly fine for keeping up with the pace that our animals eat at. Right, anyway, so yeah, so that's where I'm up to. That's where I am. I'm not too sure. I haven't had a look yet at the map and the local area again regarding fields and what land I might be interested in purchasing come the time if and when I'm fortunate enough to find the last 2 collectibles. But yes, it will be essentially being invested back into the farm, buy ourselves a nice another field that's hopefully nearby and a decent size, and going from there. And also, time of year wise, December is the big selling time. So that's when we are going to be selling most of our crops that are in the silo at the minute, and hopefully getting a good chunk of money back. So that will be pretty cool. So obviously, come December and snow, we'll potentially find the last 2 collectibles and sell all of our grain, and hopefully we should have quite a decent bank balance temporarily if all that does happen and does work as I expect it to. Now this is quite a wide header, isn't it? Which fields should I do first? 136 is at the top of the map. Field 21. Right, we'll go for field 21 first because it's the smaller one of the 2, the sunflowers. So fields 21, off you go. Now I'm hoping I haven't started auto drive at the wrong point there, but it should turn left. Yes, right, there we go. I'm almost confident. Yeah, 21's the one without the gate, isn't it? So this should make its way all the way there, he says. Right, anyway, so that'll do for a bit of an intro into today's episode. We'll get this over to the field, we'll get the harvester over to the field, we'll get one of the fence running the trailer to the field, and I shall pick you up there, and we'll crack on. So, see you shortly. Right, so I have turned traffic off just temporarily because instead of trying to thread this thing into the field to get ready, I figured the best point to load up the header would be outside on the road because it is quite tight. So what I have done, I've just stopped the Ford, as you can see, and I do love this header trailer and the way it works, because you unfold it, it spins it round, tilts it down. I can't get past. I can, but yeah. So, perfect way of loading up there. Just block the road. There we go. Look at that. Awesome. So let's connect the PTO. unfold the harvester. You see what I mean? Now it may well have made it into the field, possibly, but it might have also collided with one of the trees there, mightn't it? So let's drop the header down, switch her on, and get cracking with this contract. So we shall crack on with this. I think I'm going to pop both of these jobs into a cinematic, as I like to do, and I shall pick you all back up when the jobs are done. So see you in a wee while.
I've been dreaming so much lately about your face when you're smiling. It's the only thing that saves me. Hey, I don't know if I told you that I think you're beautiful, and how I can't wait to hold you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down, and I don't know how I would do without you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down. Hey, now look into my eyes. You can use them as a mirror, baby. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now everything's alright. We've been longing for each other, and it feels like I'm on cloud nine. I don't wanna be without you. This is something that I know for sure. It's just something about you. I just want more. Tell me what you wanna do right now. Tell me what you wanna do tonight. I really don't care as long as I'm with you. Hey, now look into my eyes. You can use them as a mirror, baby. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now everything's alright. We've been longing for each other, and it feels like I'm on cloud nine. Look into my eyes, you can use them as a mirror. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now look into my eyes, you can use them as a mirror, baby. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now everything's alright. We've been longing for each other, and it feels like I'm on cloud nine. Falling down, and I don't know how I would do without you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down, and I don't know how I would do without you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down. Yeah, it feels like I'm on cloud nine.
Right, here we are, back at the yard, and hopefully the combine should be any second round. Yeah, there it is, making its way home. I would like to say that this has made it home perfectly, in particular the combine, but no, it did, apart from one occasion where it fell off the bridge and tried to drown itself in the river. That was great, obviously because the combine's got such a wide turning circle and it steers from the rear. It was one of those concrete bridges that doesn't have any supports either side, any safety barriers or anything, so it just turned itself onto the bridge following the auto-drive network as it was told to do, and I found it lying on its side in the water, so that was great. Fortunately, it was not very deep, so I didn't have to reset the vehicle or anything like that. I just had to pick it up, so to speak, with super strength and just put it back in, set it back on the road, and off it went. Apart from that, it made it all the way back from field 136, which on the map, it's up here. Obviously, as you'll no doubt have guessed, there was no way at all that it was getting itself in and out of the gate. That map itself is actually, sorry, that field itself, this bit here, that brown dotted line signifies the edge of the map. So there was a kind of hard barrier in the middle of the hedge there, so there was no wide steering out into that field to help get in and out. So unfortunately that was a bit of a nightmare getting things in and out of that field. Auto drive wouldn't do it. The Fenton trailer wouldn't get itself out of there again, just because of the tightness and the edge of the map thing. And the same with the Ford and the header, because the header is actually quite wide when it's sat on this trailer. Anyway, right. Job done anyway, or job's done. Both done. We got in total, we didn't get a great deal, as I said before, from the extra harvest crop, we got, across the two fields, £1,206. So for field 21, that was a £559 extra crop with a £46 environmental score, and field 136 was £555 with a £46 environmental score. So that's that, and now we just need to turn in both contracts. There we are. So collect and collect. There we go. Oh, bring up the HUD, sorry. So yeah, 3, 5, 6, 7. £3,761. So better than nothing. Kept herself busy for a couple of hours. Got a few pounds in the bank. That'll do. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna tidy everything up here. I'm gonna get these bits and bobs washed off, and then I will pick you all back up when they're all clean, put away, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do next. Right. What I think we're gonna do now is very quickly. We are going. I'll say very quickly. It'll take as long as it takes, but we're going to top the cows off with straw. They are looking, if I just pop into the menus and show you very quickly, they're not low, they're not empty or anything, but they're almost approaching half the level of straw that they should have. And I know they're not down on food too much, but I'm going to top them up with food as well. So what do I need to do? So let's turn the machine on there. We need to jump into the telehandler and need to drop off the manure fork. I have just mucked the cows out as well, so let's just drop that down there. Pick up our bale spike, because we're going to need to run a few of these things around. There we go. That's the one we wanted. Right, so we'll go grab a bale of straw, top them up with straw, and we'll throw in one of our opened silage bales, the ones that automatically fermented when I accidentally unwrapped it the other day. Right, so there's that. No. I need to bring up the F1 menu, don't I? Oh, that's the one. I was pressing the wrong button. Silly me. But yeah, I believe this is the only way of giving the cows straw on this farm in particular anyway. You have to break it down to loose straw with the feed mixer. Hang on a minute, no. I'm going to need to just drop that in there like that, can't I? There we go. That should work. There we go. Yep, that's doing its thing. Let's see how much of this they take. There we go. I do hope they take most of it. Otherwise I might have done this in the wrong order, mightn't I? Because if I'm left with a huge percentage of straw in this feed mixer, I'm not going to be able to do the TMR. Oh no, we're alright. Oh, excellent. That will do for me. Right, so next one we want is a silage bale. So let's just leave that there. I'm quite enjoying doing all this properly, you know. So, where are we? There we go. Slow down, slow down. There we go. Load it up. This is so much more manageable than the front loader on the Ford. Right, you drop in there. And while you're doing that, go and get a bale of hay. But based on the pace that these cows get through this food, we're not going to need any more bales of hay or straw for quite a while, are we? There we go. Let's just stick. Is that as far as forward as it goes? Yep, there we go. Excellent. Right. This should be a good mixer of TMR. I can just drop that there, can't I? Come on. Excellent. There we go. Oh, I should stay up close so I can see the ratios. Yep, that'll do for me. So, let's pull this up here. There's the trigger. Unload. It's still taking from the hay bale. It's going to go, the ratios are going to go all wrong now, aren't they? There's that, so let's stop that. No, 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 no. Let's stop unloading that, please. Goodness me, the button wouldn't work then. Yeah. Okay. So they've taken a bit of forage now as well, haven't they? Let's go into the animal menu very quickly. Hay, grass, yeah, okay. I think all I need to do with that one now is add another silage bale, and that should bring this back to total mixed ration. So let's pull that out of the way. Go get our second unwrapped bale. Oops. Bump. And again, you can just drop it in. Go on. Stay at the right ratio. Okay, so it's filled up. Yeah, 100%. That'll do for now. I think I'll be able to top them up. I think. Yeah, I just need to keep an eye on... Yeah, it's yeah, 100% total mixed ration. Excellent. That worked out in the end. Eventually. Will it take the whole thing? Okay, so back to the menus. Okay, that'll do for now. That's topped up enough for me. Right, so let's spin this round and park this back up where it belongs. And then I think what I plan on doing, once we've got all this lot away and we've tidied up and put the telehandler away, I'm going to forward time into December. There's not a great deal happening in November. Yeah, there's a few contracts we could take on and stuff, but obviously the main purpose of doing the contracts is to earn money, and come December we're going to be able to sell all of our crops. No, PTO as well, there we go. I think we should just leave the little Massey there for now. Yeah, come December we can sell all of our crops, and hopefully by then it's going to be snowing. And if it's snowing, it means I can find snowmen, and it means if I can find snowmen, I can find the last two of the collectibles and get that done and dusted and out of my mind. Because, there we go, that's better. peace and quiet. Yeah, and get the last 2 collectibles, potentially get another couple of £100,000 in from finding those collectibles, and then that'll be it done then. And what I do plan on doing, if I pop into the map, hopefully with the money that we make from our grain sale, and assuming, again, I'm looking forward a bit too far here, but if I assume that I do find the 2 collectibles, I can invest in another field, and I have my eye on the likes of this one here, which is field 110. That has a value at the minute of £171,024. We have field 130 here at £210,984, and this one here, £264,912. So within the local vicinity, and there's this one here, 256. There's a handful of reasonable sized fields that I wouldn't mind getting my hands on. So that's the kind of loose plan that I've got anyway. So I'm going to fast forward time now. We're going to essentially hibernate till December, hopefully when we have a bit of snowfall, and I shall pick you all back up very shortly. Right, hello again everyone. So we're here, it's now December, we're in the 2nd day of December. If I bring up the menus there, as you see, December day 2, because December day 1 didn't have any snow falling, and I want to find snowmen. So, but first and foremost, we need to, so that I don't get carried away looking for snowmen and go wasting time, I need to sell my grain out of my silo. We have barley, oat and linseed, which is at its highest selling price in December, and I have just had a look, and it seems that on all 3 cases we actually get higher than the highest price that's stated in the menu. So if I pop into the menu here, for example, linseed, it says the highest price here, it says £474.53, but at town stores we can get £526.71, and that's the highest price being paid at the minute, and it's currently on its way down, so we need to get that sold there ASAP. And the same goes for barley and oats. If I very quickly scroll to the top, we have 52 tons of barley. Best price is £497.62 according to the fluctuation menu there. But if we pop into here and we look at town stores again, £514.66. So that's excellent. And it's the same story for oats. The best price there is £1,300.92, and the top price, I think, is Longmeadow Stores for £1,370.54. So that's where we're going for all of our grain sales. So I'm going to jump into the original fent, the smaller one of the 2. We're going to get the trailer hooked up. What a beautiful morning though, eh? Look at the sunrise. It really is absolutely gorgeous, this map. Stunning. Every time I wake up in the morning on this game, it's just like, wow. Right. Let's have some lights on, shall we? Where am I? Get my bearings. So let's pull out of here. I suppose we do need to be a bit careful so that we're not skidding about. And while I am going to be driving back in 2, I am going to be keeping my eyes peeled for snowmen. Oh goodness me, that's a proper slide there. I guess I'm going to have to be very, very careful here, aren't I? Right, there we go. Hook up. There's that. So let's remove the cover. I think the first one we're going to go for is, we'll start at the top with barley, shan't we? So, barley. So we're going to have a few trailer loads of this. We had 69,000 litres or so. Not too sure how many. Where are we? So 12.5 tonnes there. Barley, 39.4 tonnes left. So, yeah, we've got several trailer loads. Right, so I'm going to head on down to town stores. Back and two, several trips. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all this grain selling done, and I will bring you all back in when we've made all the money we can make. So we're currently at 64,851, and we'll see where we're up to when it's all gone. So, see you all very soon. Oh, and very quickly, I meant to say this earlier on in the video. Actually, I had requested any help at the end of the last episode regarding information about purchasing the campsite. Now, I'm recording this episode the day before the previous episode, episode 20, gets released. So unfortunately, obviously, I'm not going to be able to comment on any comments that were made in the comments of episode 20 because it hasn't been released yet, and those comments, if they have been made, haven't been made yet. So please forgive me. I'm not being rude or ignorant or ignoring anybody. Obviously, I'm just trying to get ahead of myself when it comes to making episodes. So at the minute, as I said, I'm recording this episode before the other one's been released. So I will keep my eye well and truly on the comments regarding the purchase of that of the campsite. Here we are at Town Stores anyway to make the first sale. So as I said, yeah, I'll pick you all back up when all the grain has been sold, and hopefully we'll be sat on a decent amount of money. So catch you in a bit. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an hour or so, I think. Let's turn this off for a second, shall we? So I can hear myself think. Right, that's all of our grain sold. We are now sat at a very healthy £146,683. That is purely from all the grain that we sold from my silo that was due to be sold at top dollar in December. So that was the oat, the barley and the linseed. So, starting at 64,851, which is what we had before we sold the first trailer load, we made, in total, 81,832 quid. So that's absolutely brilliant, quite frankly. I'm very happy with that indeed. That's a really good chunk of money. I've been running auto drive, obviously running these things back and two this last hour or so. And I have been keeping my eye out for snowmen, and I haven't seen a single one. And quite frustratingly, actually, in the last few minutes, as the tractor was making its way over here to Longmeadow Stores, where we just sold the last of the oat, all the snow vanished, just like it just melted in front of my eyes, just off it went. So, yeah, not going to find a snowman without any snow, am I? So, I think what I'm going to do now that we're sat on a decent chunk of money now, it's I know it's only 10:30 in December, but I'm going to get this tractor home. We shall fire it off via auto drive. Let's just send it back to home farm. There we go. You can go back to home farm, and we will just zoom over here. Because one thing I did realise very stupidly, yet another silly mistake I made along the way, I sold all the barley, didn't I? So now I had nothing to feed my chickens, and the chickens were completely empty of food. So because I have the another wonderful mod, the Farm Supply Pack, that gives you various versions of these pallets, 5,000 litres for £1,000. So I picked up for £1,000 a pallet of chicken food to keep them stocked up. They take 1,200 litres in one go, so there's a couple of feeds there for the chickens, maybe 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, 3, maybe 4. I don't know. Yeah. So right. Yeah, not a single piece of snow here anymore, is there? So yeah, I'm going to go and hibernate again till January, because I'm hoping, because I have that was, I think, my second experience of snow on this map so far, and I'm pretty sure that the snow gets very, very deep when it's properly snowed. After watching one of the FARMERSIM guy's latest contractor series videos, he encountered and spent the day on his farm, on Charles's farm, sorry, leasing out snow plows and snow blowers because the snow was so deep and so thick that it covered all the roads. And in today's snow in my game here hadn't. It had the roads weren't covered. There was snow on the embankments at either side, on the verges, sorry, on either side of the road, but the roads were still visible. So I'm assuming again that the snowmen only appear when it's properly snowed. So that's my trail of thought anyway. So I'm going to fast forward time to January, first thing in the morning in January, and I'm going to go and I'm going to put on my Iron Man suit and I'm going to fly around the map for a bit and see if I can locate a couple of snowmen. Because I've got, if any of you are unaware, I've got 2 collectibles left out of the 100 to collect. And I'm almost certain that they're both sitting in the arms of snowmen. So, yep, that's the plan. So, let's crack on, and I shall pick you up shortly, hopefully, to finding the last of the collectibles. So, see you in a bit. There we are. Found one. Didn't take too long. So I put the torch on because it was still a bit dark. But there we go. In the arms of a snowman. So, there we go. What's that given me? £1,000 and £100,000. So, I actually didn't notice what that was actually, but I know that I've now got one more collectible to find. So if I go into... Which one is it? This one. 99 out of 100. So, I'm going to leave it at 1 time's time. It's at 8 o'clock in the morning on January. I woke up just before, and I've come for a wander down the street. I thought I'd check these houses out first. And just my luck. There it is. Snowman. So, I'm going to go try and find another snowman. So, hopefully it won't be too long, but you never know, because it's snowing everywhere. The snowmen could be anywhere. So, I won't take you with me on this journey, because this could be quite long. Or it could be quite short. That one only took 4 minutes, I think. Right. So, I'll pick you back up shortly, hopefully with the last collectible in my hand. Right. I found it. And it's not in the arms of a snowman. It was here all along, so there's only one collectible that is in the arms of a snowman. There it is. How I saw that, I do not know. I thought I'd have a come and have a quick check around. This is Stonebridge Farm, I think it's called. I didn't actually spend it when I was looking for the original. When I went for that original search around a few episodes ago, when I found all the others. I guess I just didn't look hard enough. But there it is, the final one. I think it's a trailer of some description. I can't tell. But yeah, I just thought I'd have a bit more of a detailed look. It's now 10:55. I haven't been searching since 8 o'clock. I had about 25, half an hour away from the computer, just because I had to do things in actual real life. So there's been a couple of hours essentially that I've spent trying to find this last one. Essentially, it took me so long because I was adamant that I was looking for a snowman, and I just couldn't find any other snowmen. But anyway, it's there. Done. Done. Oof. Right. No more collectibles. All found. Let's just go and have a look. And yes, 100 out of 100. I'm going to save that. Where are we? Dum dum dum. Right. So, that's all illegitimate money, if we can call it that. All illegitimate money has been collected now. There will and can be no more on this series. I'm glad I've done it. You know, as I said before, they're in the game. Oxy is obviously, you know, yeah, Stonebridge Farm, that's what it's called. Oxy's put them in the game, as other map makers do. They're there for a reason, so you can get some extra money. Let's jump back over to the farm. So it's done now. 350 grand, almost. So that's pretty cool. So that does... Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. That's a big pile of dump, isn't it? Wow. Guess you need mucking out. In fact, let's just check up on the levels of these animals, actually, while I'm at it. So, the chickens, yeah, they've got some food. The cows still got food, still got straw. Yep. And the sheep. The sheep really don't eat a lot, do they? 20, 40, 60, and they've also spawned another 20. So we've now got 120 sheep. That's happened over the last month or so while I've been... Look at the way the cows are stood on their mound of poop, like, proud of themselves. King of the hill. Well, you can be king of the hill, mate. I don't want that hill. Goodness me. Right, okay. So, what to do now? Got money to spend, haven't I? I have actually, I've had my eye on another plot of land, which is very close to the farm. Let's just have a quick pop to the menus, and in fact, where's that? Oh, it's growing actually. Field 110, this one here. If I click on the farmland, it's £171,000. And that is... Where's the acreage? It usually says acreage, doesn't it? Oh, that's strange. Farmland 128. Oh, sorry, it's there, right. That's 10.91. So 7.04 acres. That's 10.91 acres at 264. And that's 8.69. I do quite like the look of this field, though. Again, I'm gonna pop into flight mode and just have a quick jump over. It's this one here, right next to Valley View Bales. I just quite like the shape of it, the look of it, the location of it, because it has its entrance is right here, off the lane from the Valley View Bales there, Valley View Sell Point stores, whatever it's called, and obviously, as you can see, right next door to my my lettuce tunnels, which both all have a couple of pallets of lettuces to be sold. Yeah, I quite like the look of that one. But we could afford the bigger one. And the bigger one is over here. This I think I did a contract in this field in one of the earlier episodes of... I think it was a ploughing contract. And obviously it's split into two. So if I did buy this field, knowing me, what I would probably do is turn it into one field. But then that does completely cut off access, I think. Oh, no, you can access this field from the bottom here. So that wouldn't render this field completely inaccessible, or this one, for that matter. But I don't use Giant's Editor, so I don't think I'll be able to get rid of this hedge. So how much is that one again? Farmland. That's 264, and it's 10.9 acres, so it's almost 11 acres. And that's only 7 acres. Is this... actually, let's have a look at the map. And this one has nothing in it. Field 90 has nothing in it. So I could start this one again, couldn't I? Turn it into one big field. Yeah. £264,000. We've got 349. So we're still going to be left with a decent amount of money, about 80 something grand. Yeah, do you know what? That's probably the way to go, isn't it? Carve out the whole field, plough over this path, turn it into one great big field. Does it cut off access to this field? I know I don't own... Well, this is a nice big field, isn't it? Oh, that is a big one. Farmland, how much is that? 452. No, that's well out of reach, so... Does that cut off access to this field? Nope, there we go. There's another access point to this field here. As well as a random bit of fencing there. What's that all about? Okay, didn't see that there. Anyway, right, so that, yeah, there's multiple access points, so it would be this field that we buy. I think. Yeah. I think it's got to be done, doesn't it? It's got to be done. We need more land, that's what a farm needs, it's what it makes its money from, essentially. So, let's do it. Plot of land, or farmland 134. 264,000. Boom. Boom. Done. Right. Done. That's now ours. That'll do for me. So we're left with £84,897. Let's come out of Iron Man mode, shall we? Let's turn that off and bring the speed back down to normal. Right. Okay. Progress. More progress. We own a bit more land. That's what we like. So, I think I'm going to call it here for this episode, because I reckon this episode's going to be knocking on the door of about 40 or 50 minutes now, I think, give or take a bit. And I'm sure you're all probably sick to death of my voice rabbiting on by now. That's going to take a bit of mucking out, isn't it? So yeah, I'm going to call it here for this video, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed the video, found it a bit of fun and interesting. Maybe a few of you now know where the last couple, or my last couple of collectibles are now, just in case any of you are looking for those ones as well. So there's only one in the hands of a snowman. You've seen where it is now, so yeah, there you go. So yeah, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I do things, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting the like button, leaving me a comment if you have any thoughts or ideas or suggestions for me. As I mentioned before, I'm sorry I haven't responded to any comments from the previous episode because they don't exist yet, because I'm recording this before the release of the previous episode. So as soon as I've read those and I'm making the next episode, episode 22, I will definitely act on them if there is any regarding the purchase of the campsite. So I've still got enough money to buy the campsite if I choose to do so still. I think it's about 49 grand, isn't it? But yeah, I would very much like to know if what the kind of income is from the campsite, if any of you do know that. So yeah, and as I've said in the last previous few episodes, I have recently become a Giants partner, so if any of you are in the market for a DLC pack or a season pass or the full game itself or any of the add-on packs, there will be a list of links in the description below for each of the individual bits and bobs that you can buy for this wonderful game. If you fancy helping a content creator out, myself, I would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much indeed. So, as always, thanks everyone, thanks for watching the video, and I shall see you in episode 22.